Hello and welcome back to Chapter 8. This is the third video. That last one was the real short one we did because I wanted to start fresh here with the metric system. This might take a couple videos to get through this, but when we're done, I think you'll see just how simple the metric system is in a conversion compared to the American system of conversions here. And it really starts right here on this idea here. Now, if you would take a look at the conversion table that you have in front of you, and let me move this over just a little bit for you. This is where the metric information is, this area of your paper right there. Metric prefixes for distance, volume, and height. And the beautiful thing about that right here is that the same thing is used for whatever type of measure you're doing, whether it be a distance measure, or volume, or height. If you're measuring distance, you use meters right here. If you're doing a volume, you use liters right here. And if you're doing grams, you use grams right here. Now notice, I'll go back to meters, all of these represent the conversion information that you need for meters. This is the conversion information for volume, liters, and grams is here. And notice how they all are basically the same. They're set along this number line right here with these prefixes that you'll want to be familiar with: kilo, hecto, deca, unit. The unit is basically the meter, liter, or gram, depending on what type of conversion you're doing. But other than that, it's all the same thing. So what I have for you in your PowerPoint, this is just kind of the summary of it, and I'll try to explain why it works the way it works, and then I'll show you how to do it, because it's so simple to do. It would just take us a minute to show you that, but it is important that you understand what's happening here. So what I'm gonna do is try to explain this here. Let's start with this idea right here, that 1 meter. Let's just talk about if we're using a distance measure. Okay, again, the same thing holds true if this were grams or liters, but we'll just use meters as our example. All right, so let's say I have 1 meter. 1 meter is equal to 1 meter. So what this chart is trying to tell you is that this is how many meters each of these are. Okay, so this is decameters, this is hectometers, and this is kilometers. Okay, and then this is the unit. Then here we have decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. Okay, well, I just want to focus on this area right here for now. Okay, these two. Okay, I have 1 meter is 1 meter. 1 decameter is equal to 10 meters. Okay, so as I go over here, okay, this unit is equal to 10 of these, 10 meters. Okay, so 1 decameter equals 10 meters. All right, I'm going to do something to get rid of my writing here. Well, no, that's not going to work. Let's just go on from here. Let's say that this arrow right here, that's 1 meter. Okay, so that's this spot right here. That's 1 meter. Now, if I have 10 of those, all right, I have 10 of those. Now, this distance, which would be 10, this distance here would be 1 decameter, because it's 10 of those. So if I said 1 decameter equals how many meters, it would be multiplied by 10, because it's 10. So whatever this number is here, I would multiply it by 10. Let's say I had 35 decameters, and I asked you to tell me how many meters it is. Well, for every 1 decameter, you have 10, so you would basically multiply that by 10. Whoop, that's a sloppy 10. 35 times 10 would be 350. Now notice that the same digits 35 are here and here. All I did was move the decimal over. The decimal value is right here. When I multiply by 10, I just move it 1 that way, right? So if I have a conversion, now I need to do this there. I just want to make my writing go away. Now, if I have a conversion from this unit to that unit, what I did is I multiplied it times 10. Okay, so if I'm right here, if I'm at hectometers, I want to go to decameters, I would multiply it times 10. But let's say I wanted to go from, say, hectometers to meters. I would go times 10 times 10, which would be times 100. So if I went from here to here, it would be times 100. Let's say I wanted to go from here to here, it would be times 1,000. Now think about it. When we multiply by 100, you just move the decimal 2 places. If you multiply by 1,000, you move the decimal 3 places, the same number of zeros right there. Okay, so what does that mean for us? That means this is super simple to do. If I'm going to make a conversion, say from kilometers to meters, all I have to do to the decimal, if the decimal value is right here, I would move it 1, 2, 3 places to get, and I would move it that way. Because when you multiply by 1,000, it would go, the decimal moves that many places, 3. Now, here's the beautiful thing about it. Whichever way I move along this line, okay, that's what the decimal would do to make a conversion. Okay, and you have this on the test, with you. Looks like that. Okay, so this is the same thing. So every time I'm moving here, I'm multiplying by 10 if I'm going this way, to the right. If I'm going this way, I'm dividing it by 10, making the number smaller. So what does that mean to us? Not that, not that. I've got lost here. There we go. No, I want my PowerPoint. There we go. All right, here's what this means to us. Okay, let's take a look at this example here. If I have this chart with me, okay, I want to go from 23 kilometers to meters. Okay, that means I'm going from here, I'm going to go times 10, times 10, and times 10. Now here's my meter. Meter is the unit. Okay, so that means I'm basically going to multiply times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. So if I multiply that by 1,000, you end up with that, 23,000. Now take a notice here. If the decimal place is right here, okay, you can see it in the answer. Okay, watch this. If I start here and I count 1, 2, 3, and I do the same thing with the decimal, 1, 2, 3, and put the new decimal there, you have the answer. Okay, we call it the metric ladder. You're either multiplying or dividing by a power of 10, and it's really that simple to do these. Let's take a look at number 2, see if you can follow what's happening here and see how simple this really is. You want to go from hectometers to meters. Okay, the decimal place is right here. That's where it is right now. Okay, it's right there, and it's hectometers, so it's sitting here. I want to move it to meters, so I'm going to move it to the right. 1, 2. I'm going to move that 1, 2 places. So let's do it here and see if it works. It's right there. I'm going to move it 1 place, 2 places. I'm now going to put the decimal place there because that's the same thing as multiplying it by 100. It looks like the answer is 400. Guess what? It is. Isn't that cool? It's simply simple. Take a look at number 3. 1.78 meters to centimeters. Okay, meters is right here. That's the unit. Okay, so it's like 1.78. So according to this, if I want to go to centimeters, I would move the decimal 1, 2 places because you would multiply times 100, multiply times 100. So I would move it 1, 2 places, put my new decimal right there. Is that it? Yes, it is. The beautiful thing about the metric system, it's all based on the number 10. You're either multiplying or dividing by 10. And when we do that, the numbers don't change. It's a beautiful thing, really. Lastly, look at number 4. Here's your decimal place. Okay, I want to go from meters to millimeters. Okay, meters is right here. All right, let's count. Just looking at this part over here. 1 space, 2 space, 3 spaces to get to milli. Okay, so move it 3. Do it down here as I have a little more room to write. 1, 2, you got to go 1 more. Put in that decimal place. You got that empty space, so fill it in with 0. You're just multiplying it by 10. That's it, 9,040. Simple. That easy for you. Okay, almost out of time here, so I'll come right back and finish up the metric system and continue with the next part.